every spare second I get, I am picking this book up because I just cannot think of anything else I would rather be doing. That ending on the last book was just not okay. That was not okay. It was crazy behavior. Because of the last book, I don't know who to trust. Oh my god, how is that the end? How is that the end? So literally it's a modern day romance, but make them werewolves or vampires. I'm having so much fun, guys. I cannot wait for you guys to read this. Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. Today we're back with one of my absolute favorite vlogs to film. These are my favorite ones to do, and yet I don't do them very much. It's kind of rare. Obviously you've seen the title. We are going to be finishing every series we are currently in the middle of. I am in the middle of about 25 series. Is that completely unreasonable and just downright bad? Yeah, it is. You know, we're working through them together. We're working through those series. And today we're going to be focusing on a few of them. I already know the first book we're picking up in this vlog because I've been wanting to read this for such a long time. And I know you guys have been wanting to see me read it, and that is A Reaper at the Gates. This is the third book in the Ember Quartet. I have slowly been making my way through this. You guys know I've been falling in love with this series. I love the characters. I love the world. It is so unique, so different. I've just been hooked since I started this series, and I cannot wait to continue it in today's vlog. So this will be the first book we're picking up. As for the rest of the vlog, we have a lot of potential candidates, but I'm thinking for this specific vlog, I'm kind of in the mood of fantasy. I feel like we're just going to be reading fantasy series. We're going to be finishing fantasy series that I'm currently in the middle of. I feel like that's a really good vibe at the moment. I have been in my fantasy obsessed era again. I feel like I go in waves. Sometimes I'm more like high fantasy, romantasy, or I'm just not fantasy at all. I'm just romance. At the moment, obsessed with any kind of fantasy. Any kind of fantasy I can get my hands on, I am reading like just so quickly. If you don't know what the Ember in the Ashes series is about, basically we are following our main protagonist Leia. Obviously this isn't the first book and not this one. I'm not going to talk about the third book. That would just be spoilers. But in the first book, we're following Leia. Her brother has just been captured by kind of like the ruling empire because he has been found working with the rebels, you know, joining forces, working against them. He's basically like the last surviving person in Leia's family. So she goes undercover as a slave for the commandant, who is this absolutely awful woman whose slaves never last more than a few weeks. They always end up out of there because she is just such an incredibly hard person to work with, I guess you would say. Not that they're working, they're literally slaves. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Leia goes undercover to try and save her brother. We're also following Elias, and he is kind of like training to be a mask, which is basically like a soldier. So yeah, let's just get into it. That ending on the last book was just not okay. That was not okay. It was crazy behavior. I'm so nervous because everyone there is like, I am dying to see your reaction to the rest of the series. And I'm like, what's gonna happen in the rest of the series? Guys, the ending of the first and the second were bad enough. I mean, they were great, but they were bad, so. You know a fantasy book's gonna be good when we have multiple maps going on. Okay, I have an update for you. We are at page 109, chapter 15 of Reaper at the Gates. Guys, the spine has been cracked. I am so sorry. Look, I apologize every time for it, but I'm not gonna lie. I love a cracked spine. I love a well-loved book. This series definitely has a chokehold on me. I am so excited to be back in this world. I don't know why I put it off, but I genuinely want to read the next book in this series so quickly. We kind of left off in this massive cliffhanger, so I'm surprised it did take me this long to pick up the next book. However, I really want two of our characters to be with each other more, and they're just not. Life keeps separating them, and I'm like, guys, I just want the best for you. The stakes are definitely getting a little bit more intense. I thought they were already quite intense where we left off, and they're getting higher. They're really getting higher, which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love. I love a high stakes moment. The writing in this book is just absolutely wonderful as well. I feel like it's very simple, but in the best way possible. And also, this is finally diving into the magic system a little bit more. We are getting more from our magic system, which I'm really liking. We're learning more about the kind of spiritual side of this world. When you pass away, you come back as a spirit. Like, there's a very strong sense of spirituality, I guess. How many times can I say spirit? In this world, and that's really fun to kind of dive into a little bit more. I was talking about this on the podcast recently. This series in itself, whilst it's a fantasy series, I feel like it's definitely more of a political war kind of fantasy series. There's actually not heaps of magic. We have magic in the sense of the masks that the soldiers wear, and there are a few like kind of little magical things, but it's more like the world has magical elements about it. Magic doesn't play a massive role in our plot, if that makes sense. But in saying that, I think we're starting to get a little bit more of that in this book, which I'm really excited about. We're starting to learn a little bit more about the world. I don't want to say too much because of spoilers. We're starting to learn a little bit more about how the magic system impacts the politics, how the magic system impacts power. I'm very glad we're getting more of that because that's what I was craving. Yeah, at the moment, I'm really enjoying it. We're hopefully going to read a lot more today and we'll see how we go. It's obviously the next day. We are about halfway through Reaper the Gates and we're still getting introduced to characters. I'm kind of shocked because we're 3 books into the series and we're still getting introduced to characters. I'm not mad about it. Like I'm having fun. I'm loving getting to know them. But yeah, it's kind of surprising to me. Honestly, things keep getting worse and worse for their situation. Like I'm having the best time reading it, but like the characters, like just things keep happening. Things keep happening. I think the second book was more like a bridging book between the first book and this book. This is feels like an almost build up to the finale, to like the big action, to the finale of the entire series, if that makes sense. It feels like we're just leading up to that, and because of that I'm terrified that we are going to leave on a cliffhanger. Because of the last book, I don't know who to trust. Like I'm genuinely so confused, and one of the characters that I feel like I'm not supposed to like, I'm just going to say the Blood Trike. I'm just going to refer to them as that just because I don't want any spoilers, but I feel like I'm not supposed to like them, and yet I'm actually loving their point of view. We have 3 main point of views in this, and honestly I am loving every single one of them. Usually there's, you know, one that you're like, whatever, like I have to kind of get past this point of view to get to the good stuff or whatever, or get to my favorite point of view, and I'm enjoying every single one of these, and I just feel like that's so rare for an entire series. Even in Six of Crows there would have been 1 or 2 that I would be like, I just want to get back to like Kaz's point of view or something like that. This has genuinely been like had me hooked the entire time from any point of view, and that's really, really fun. We just got introduced to a new character and I'm actually really liking them. I'm a little bit scared because last time I liked a character, it did not go well. Like a character who isn't a main protagonist. And I don't know what role they're gonna play, but I am really liking them. I just feel like the way characters are developed in this is so amazing. There's just such depth to every single character, which I really, really like. So I don't even know what else to say, apart from the fact that this book is getting really intense and I am having a really fun time reading it. I think I'm more hooked on this one than I was the second book. I loved the second book, but it definitely took me a bit longer to get through it. I'm not entirely sure why, but I feel like this one has just picked up right from where the action left off. So we've kind of been on this sense of like edge of our seat the entire time I've been reading this. My aim is to get like close to finished by the end of the day, but we'll see how we go. I don't think I'll finish it. I don't want to rush it at all. When I tell you I could cut the tension with a knife. Guys, not romantically, not romantically. These stakes. The stakes are so high. I just am so worried for every single one of our characters. I have no idea where this is gonna go. I have an inkling and I hope I'm wrong, but I have an inkling for one of them for Elias. Elias I love. I don't know if I'm right. This is all theorizing. But oh my God, I have been so incredibly into this. Like, how is this series not more popular? A 4-book series, in my opinion, is like perfect. I love a 4-book series. It gives you a little bit more than a trilogy, especially when they're a good length as well. It's not too hard to commit to. I just think it's the perfect kind of length. In saying that, I'm actually not sure what I'm going to rate this because there definitely are slower moments in this, and that's, as I've said in the past, that's not a bad thing. When I'm in it, I'm in it. Like when I'm in it, I am fully immersed, but sometimes it's struggling to catch my attention. I feel like I've been very positive this whole time, but there have been times, like it's been a few days, there was like a little section, I would say like maybe the middle, a little bit touch and go. Like I loved reading it when I did pick it up, but when I wasn't reading it, I wasn't thinking about it the whole time. Now that we're getting closer to the end, I definitely think my mind has been like, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I should pick this up and read it because I'm just thinking about it kind of vibe. And that was like at the beginning of the book as well. But I think in the middle, it was a little bit like not quite as intrigued as I could be. Some of the characters, oh my God, some of the characters are annoying me so much. They just don't need to be doing that. They don't need to be being such assholes, sorry, but they're really annoying. We're not going to finish it tonight because I'm going to film my reaction to it tomorrow morning, because you guys have all said that you need to see my reaction. So I'm going to have to stop myself tonight, put it down, unless I film it tonight, but I probably will just put it down. I'm going to phase this out and I'm going to film my reaction to it tomorrow because I want to see what happens and I want you guys to see. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure a lot of you had warned me about the ending of this book and the fact that I would want to go on to the next book immediately. I can 100% say you were correct. I am so annoyed that the bookshop didn't have this book in stock. The next book in this series when I was there the other day, because how am I supposed to go into another series with this ending in my head? I just feel like I'm so connected to our characters at this point, and seeing this happen, I need to know what happens next. I am very thankful that the book is out already so I can go read it, because I know like so many of you read this ages ago, and then because I think the 4th book only came out last year or something, so it's a relatively new book for this series considering it was started so long ago. That was not okay. That was honestly not okay. I didn't know. No. This series, the more I read of this series, the more I fall in love with it. I feel like for a rating, I mean, I always usually take a little bit of time, but I'm thinking around 4.25 stars. The only reason it's not higher is because I just didn't feel like it was a perfect. There was definitely a few slow bits in here. I connect to our characters so much in this series. I absolutely love. I was feeling a little bit separated, and that could just be my mood whilst reading this because I've got a lot going on. But yeah, I felt like the tiniest bit separated. As I said, the plot was a tiny bit slow, but like overall, I did really love it. I loved seeing our character development. I cannot believe that ending. I feel like I almost had an inkling of this ending, and I didn't want it to happen, and then it happened. I think I liked Torch Against the Night, the second book, a little bit more. This one was still really, really good though. We're gonna change tones a little bit, and I'm actually so excited about this next one. I just feel like I couldn't go on to another intense kind of fantasy series at the moment. I like to like let that settle. So the next book we're gonna be reading is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. When I tell you, this is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I read Bride when it came out, so like a good, what, 2 years ago now? I had so much fun. I do think Bride is one of those books that you will either really, really enjoy or just not be for you, because there are definitely some odd parts in that book. There were definitely some parts that made me question things, but overall I really enjoyed it. If you haven't read it, Bride is like a vampire werewolf romance. It's a paranormal romance. I definitely wouldn't say it's a fantasy romance just because like the main plot is romance. We just have paranormal main protagonists, I guess. So we are following Misery, who is a vampire, and Lo, is that his name? He is a werewolf. It's like marriage of convenience type situation to try and restore peace. I am a big vampire romance girly. I love a vampire romance. I have not read many werewolf romances, if any. Like that was like werewolf vampire. I feel like that's not that unordinary, but just werewolf, that's what Mate is. So we are following Serena, and she is the sister of Misery from Bride. So it's kind of like an interconnected standalone, I would say. I'll let you know by the end if I think you can read this as a standalone, because sometimes that's the case, like the Chestnut Springs series, for example. And she is the first human were hybrid, so like half human, half werewolf, which is a little bit confusing in my head because I'm like, isn't a werewolf half human, half wolf? I don't know. What's a human, half werewolf? We're about to figure that one out. They're kind of trying to figure out her abilities as a hybrid human were. And then we are also following Cohen, who is the alpha of the werewolf pack in the Northwest. And he finds out that Serena is his mate, except she isn't his mate, if that makes sense. So like the mate can be a one-way connection, which is low-key a little bit awkward, and I'm confused in how that's gonna work out. Interesting premise. So I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I need a fun little paranormal romance. This is the book we're gonna be starting. Guys, this is exactly what I needed when I said I needed something less serious that I could just have fun with. This is exactly what I was meaning. I am speeding through this. We're already at page 130. From the first page, I have been so hooked. I think because I've been reading such serious fantasy, well, given one, Blood Moon was not a serious fantasy. The other fantasies I've read this month have been very serious. Actually, I've only read fantasies so far this month, and I feel like this is still in that fantasy genre, but without being like so heavy on the politics and the world building and everything. Like honestly, all there is that there is a werewolf pack, and that one of them is a hybrid, and that is our main protagonist, and literally that is all you need to understand. I feel like the only other part is they're trying to understand how she is a hybrid and like her DNA and where it's come from. Like, was her mum a wolf? Was her dad a wolf? Like, trying to figure that out. It's so good, guys. It's so good. I'm kind of curious because as it says on the back, Cohen is Serena's mate, but Serena's not his mate. So there's not reciprocated feelings going on here. And I'm like, how is that going to phase out? How is that going to work out? What if like Serena has another mate? Like there are so many things going on in my head. By the way, I love the mate trope. I love mates. And I feel like this is one book I can say it has the mate trope because sometimes you don't want to know that it has the mate trope until you get to the end when like they figure out that they're each other's mate or whatever. Because like with werewolves, wolves, you know, as soon as you see them, you know that they're your mate. And this is like, that's kind of the whole, obviously, the whole point of the book. I'm kind of curious to see what's gonna happen. Guys, what's gonna happen? We also are having cameos. When I posted on my Instagram about this and my TikTok, a lot of you asked, do we have cameos of Lo and Misery? Yes, they are actually quite present in this, to be honest. We've had a lot, and like even just like speaking to them over the phones and everything like that, like we've had a lot of cameos from them, which is really fun. I love seeing our characters again. I loved both of them, so I'm having a great time. Another thing that can kind of get confusing is that we are set in modern times, so we'd still have like phones and texting and technology and TV and everything like that. So literally it's a modern day romance, but make them werewolves or vampires. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I have quite the update for you. Not even like, nothing like crazy has happened or anything. I am genuinely just having so much fun. It's the next day and I am already over halfway through because I could not put this down last night. I was reading this until my eyes were falling. Were falling until my eyes were closing. Like I was so tired that I was like literally falling asleep whilst reading it, but I couldn't put it down. We are getting introduced to a lot of characters at the moment. I will say a little bit hard to keep track of because we're basically getting introduced to the wolf pack. Everyone in the pack. So it's a little bit hard to keep track of everyone, but I think that's the only thing I'm struggling with. As I said, paranormal romance, not a fantasy, so it's kind of, yeah, it's easy to go with the flow with this one, which I'm very happy about. Why is this so ridiculously good? It is so addictive. I cannot put this book down. I don't know whether it's just because I haven't read a book like this in such a long time, but guys, it's just so funny, it's so witty. I'm loving the chemistry between our characters. The chemistry is so good and it's such a good slow burn. And the slow burn is actually here. Do you know how rare that is to actually have a slow burn in your books? These days I feel like it's always enemies to lovers, except they're lovers within the first 100 pages. Big plus for me. I'm just having the best time, guys. I'm literally having the best time. I will say there was one line that I read. I'm gonna see if I can find it. It said something about women should be in the kitchen, but like whatever. And I was like, excuse me? I don't know if that was said in a sarcastic comment, but if it was said really, I would be a little, I would be very, no, I wouldn't even be a little, I'd be very angry. I just feel like Ali Hazelwood, her humor comes across so well in her writing. Like she always has such witty characters and I love it. This girl is the main protagonist as well. I am really liking. She's just a bit odd. And I like that. I like when my characters are a little bit odd. And she's just very confidently herself. She doesn't care if people don't like her. Also, there's this one element of the book where I'm just like, what is gonna happen? I don't want to say what it is because it's probably a spoiler, but it's got me on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what, how? I'm having so much fun, guys. I cannot wait for you guys to read this. Oh my God. I fear I know what's happening. I have about 60 pages left of May. Let me just say, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is such a slow burn, and it is a slow burn. I would say it's a slow burn. But I was thinking this is such a tame book for Ali Hazelwood. All of her books usually have a generous amount of spice in them, and up until about page 350 I was like, damn. Just a warning, from then on there is a lot. There is a lot of spice. We're definitely entering territory that we entered in Bride. I'm not gonna say, but if you know, you know. We're entering that territory again, which when I first read that, I was like, what am I reading? Just warning, it gets spicier. I love our characters. I love them so much. I am having so much fun. Serena as main protagonist, why do I love her so much? I feel like she is so relatable. She is so quirky and low-key kind of clumsy, and just, but not in the Bella kind of way, not in Bella clumsy, as in she's very bubbly and chatty, and when she gets nervous she'll just chat about random stuff, and I'm like, girl, I can relate to that, and I love when I can relate to a main protagonist, because we know that doesn't happen every day. I needed this so badly. I love the way Ali Hazelwood writes her like paranormal romance books. They're so much fun, and there's even been little like sprinkles of science through this as well. Ali Hazelwood is having fun and I am here for it. Anyway, we're gonna sit down and finish this now because we're so close. Girl, this is intense. What is gonna happen? No way, no way. I feel like I saw that coming, but in like the best way possible. Guys, I'm sure you just saw could not stop smiling. I could not stop smiling through the entire end of this book because this was so wholesome in the ending. There were definitely some weirder parts. There were definitely some parts where I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but also it kind of makes me like laugh about it. Did I love this more than Bride? Yeah, kind of. I didn't expect to, but I actually love these characters so much. Having our characters from Bride in this was so much fun. Guys, it was so much fun. I don't even know what my rating for this will be. I feel like it's going to be up there, like a 4.25, 4.5 probably. Reading a werewolf romance that doesn't consume much of my brain power, and like every single part of my day that I wasn't sitting down reading this book, I was thinking about when I could sit down and read this book. I feel like that feeling is so rare. That is exactly what I needed. If you were going into a book slump, it's literally so much fun. I can't describe how much fun I just had. I was also so nervous that this wasn't going to live up to Bride because I actually really liked Bride. Again, didn't see myself liking it and then was obsessed with it. For our next book, let me grab it quickly. I'm very proud of myself for picking this next book up, and that is Kingdom of Copper. This is the second book to City of Brass. I read City of Brass just under a year ago, I would say. I don't know why it's taken me so long to read the next book in this series, but I have been dying to for a long time now. I actually had a lot of fun with the first book. Funnily enough, this reminds me a lot of the Ember Quartet so far, and it embodies a lot of myths and kind of old magic from Cairo. It is part of the Daverbound trilogy. Something that has stuck in my mind since I read the first one is the way the first one ended, where our characters were and what kind of love situation they were in when it ended. Again, don't want to make spoilers, but I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out in this. For some reason, the romance line in this has really stuck with me. So I'm very excited to dive into this one. I think we're going to read a little bit tonight and we'll see how far we get into it. 5 years? Hang on. Did I read that? What? Okay. I'm only at chapter 5, so we're only 90 pages in, but already I'm kind of shocked. We just had a 5-year time jump? Like, did I read that right? In my head, I'm like, did I put that together? Like, did they just mention 5 years? And I was like, oh, it's been 5 years. Like, that is an awfully big time jump between the first two books. We're still following all our same characters, which is wonderful. We have Nari, Ali, and Dara. I forgot how much I love this author's writing. Honestly, they are so incredibly talented. The way it just hooks you, it grabs you and it doesn't let go. I feel like I've been saying that for every single book this video, but it's a very unique type of writing. It's not necessarily like this super easy, brainless kind of mindless read that you can just binge. It's like beautifully written. It's so incredibly written, and yet it's easy to read. I feel like that's a balance that when I find, I treasure. It's not an easy balance to find, especially in fantasy books. If you didn't know what this series is about, basically the first book, I'm not going to like go into detail about what the second one is about so far, but basically the first book, we're following the three characters. Nari was living in Cairo and she was like this con artist, thief kind of person, basically just making a living on the streets of Cairo. We were also following Ali, who is the Prince of Deva, I think he is. Yes, Ali is the youngest prince of Deva, so he is part of the royal family. And then Dara is an interesting character. Him and Nari kind of working together in the first book. It is very much kind of like this type of adventure. Nari's venturing out into the kind of more magical side of things, not just staying in Cairo like the rest of her life has been. So I did really enjoy this first book, but I kind of forgot how beautiful this writing is. I've got a busy few days coming up, but I'm thinking I might download it on my Kindle and then also on, I think it's on Spotify. I can be kind of reading it whenever I'm out on the train or whatever, and whenever I go for walks I can listen to it as an audiobook. So hopefully that'll get me into it a little bit more. Not that I'm struggling to be into it, just like I don't know how much time I have to read over the next few days, so hopefully that'll give me a little bit more time. But at the moment I am really loving it. Once I get a little bit more into it and remember everything, I'll explain the magic system a little bit better, but as of now I'm just excited to be back in this world, and it feels so refreshing. It feels like nothing I've read before, and I love that. Like, I said it's similar to Ember in the Ashes, but it's different. It's different. I have an update on Kingdom of Copper. This has truly taken me in my wildest dreams. I could not have expected to be so obsessed with this book and with this world. The first book was good. It was good. This is excellent. I am only 50% through. We're only 50% through. I don't even know if it is. Like, I've been kind of reading it on and off Kindle, on and off audio as well, just for like convenience. And I think we're not even quite 50% through. I think we're 40 something. I cannot get enough of this book. The characters are really growing on me. However, one character specifically is annoying me. We'll try pronounce his name, but I'm not going to be able to. Mantundia? I don't want to offend anyone by mispronouncing this, but I truly don't know, because a lot of the times when I've been listening to it on audio, and I wish I could remember off the top of my head how they were pronouncing it, but it's not what I was pronouncing in my head. So yeah, I'm kind of confused. He is annoying me. Like, oh my God. I would say why, but I'm not going to because spoilers. But yeah, him. Anyway, but something I've been doing that's been really helping, and I'm so glad I have the physical book for this reason. There is a cast of characters at the back, and then there also is a glossary for the kind of magic system and the different types of people. So I feel like I haven't explained this world very well at all. I understand it reading it, but it's hard to communicate, but I'm gonna do my best. So basically, Dara and Nari, I think I'm pronouncing them okay, are both Deva people. These people have magical abilities. These magical abilities have kind of like shifted throughout the generations. But yeah, they are magical people. Not everyone has magical abilities in this world. And so they are beings of fire. So we have kind of different beings. I'm just gonna call them in our world because they're under, like that's what they're under in this. They're called beings. We'll just say that. We then have beings of water. They are the Madrid. Okay, easy way to explain this, Freya, is it's elemental magic, I guess. Beings of earth, which are like ghouls and stuff. We have ghouls. The beings of earth are more like creatures and stuff. So we have the ghouls, the Ishtars, which are like a small scaled creature obsessed with organization and footwear. The Naznas, which are like a venomous creature resembling a dissected human that prowls the deserts. The different tribes speak different languages. Ali is from the kind of main kingdom in this world. Nari was actually living in Cairo. As I said, it was originally based in Cairo, and she didn't really exercise any of her magical abilities. I feel like I'm not doing a very good job of describing this, but like I'm doing my best. It's a very complicated world in the best way possible. Once you're in it, it's really easy to grasp your head around. However, as I said, I have been referring back to the like terminology just because a lot of our characters have very similar names. Like within the David people, there are different names for the David people as well that are sometimes like referred to. Some of our characters have full names and then they have nicknames. It just gets a lot. Like, and then they have nicknames for like their siblings or whatever. Like it gets a lot. So I've been using the terminology in the back a lot, but yeah, guys, I'm loving it. I don't know if it's the way this book is written or just the actual contents of this book, but it's one of those books that you don't like. I read the first book so long ago. I didn't remember it immediately, but as I started reading about our characters again, I remembered every little thing that happened, and that just doesn't happen to me all the time. I obviously just read so many books in a year, so I don't always remember every single little thing that happened. I kind of just remember the main plot. But like now that I'm reading this again, I remember all the tiny things that I was like excited about when I read the first book. Anyway, I don't know if that's the writing. It's so good. I have been so busy recently. I have had hardly any time to read. Every spare second I get, I am picking this book up because I just cannot think of anything else I would rather be doing. And the stakes are low-key, like they're high, as in our characters might have a moment soon, and not in the romantic sense. Like I know something is about to happen and I'm on the edge of my seat because I'm like, when is this going to happen? How is this going to happen? I'm so confused. I feel like for the point of views, we have three. So we have Nari, Ali, and I said Dara because that's how it looks to me. But I was listening to a few chapters of the audiobook on my walk and they were saying like Dava or something. So I'm not exactly sure. Please correct me. I love being corrected with pronouncing names. I'm terrible at it. We are following those three characters. At the moment, my favorite point of view is Ali or Nari. I'm not loving Dara. He's like, it's good, and I feel like it will get really good at the end, but at the moment I'm kind of like more interested in Ali and Nara's side of the story, which is interesting because I think in the first book I wasn't that into Ali's side of the story. I was kind of like a little bit bored, but I'm really liking him. Like he has really grown on me as a character in this book. I feel like in the first book, I don't know, maybe we just didn't get to know him on a deeper level, but in this book he is really, really growing on me. We are at page 409. I'm hoping to finish it tonight. It's like later in the afternoon, it's like 4 o'clock or something. I'm gonna see if we can finish it tonight. I don't know if we'll be able to, but like fingers crossed. What? I did not see that coming. Why has there been so many jaw-dropping moments in this book? What on earth? Oh my god, how is that the end? How is that the end? Oh my gosh, I need to read the next book immediately. I feel like that entire last like 100 pages was me just gasping at what was happening. Guys, it was so good. With complete and 100% certainty, I can say that we have a new 5-star read. It's so easily a 5-star read because, oh my gosh, that was so insanely good. I don't think there were so many plot twists in this, but the best kind of plot twists, character twists, if you will. I don't know what to call them. Elements that just tied this story together so well, and that tied our different perspectives together well. I remember enjoying the first one, but this really just took it a whole nother step. Like, I feel like the first one was like a foundations book, like laying out the world. As you could see, I was still trying to get my head around the whole magic system and everything. I mean, that is because I took a long time to read it. But the politics in this was so good, so well thought out. And honestly, like, you can relate it to real life scenarios, whether they're historical scenarios, sadly current. I'm in shock, guys. That was so good. That was so much better than I was expecting. How this series doesn't have more hype is beyond me. I am so conflicted now on what characters I am rooting for. I feel like in this series so far, I've definitely been very passionate about who I'm rooting for in this like story. For the characters that I didn't like, I love, and the characters that I loved, I now don't like, except for Nari. Nari is like, I love her. She's amazing. I could never have predicted what just happened this entire book, not just the ending, like the entire book. I know I always say that if you like Ember in the Ashes, you'll love this. I'm gonna put it out there and say that this was better than any book I've read in the, like, I love the Ember Quartet. I love it so much. I'm having the best time reading it. I don't know. This took it to a whole new level for me. I am only saying that because the last book in the Ember Quartet that I obviously read at the beginning of this video was like a 4.25. This is a 5 stars. So like, and you saw how much I love the Ember Quartet. So like, the fact that I love this more, I'm just shocked. Maybe it's because I went in with like no expectations, and I went into the Ember Quartet with more expectations. But it's kind of funny that I've read them so close together, and I'm always like, if you like this series, you'll love this series. Like, they're two very similar vibes, I would say. I feel like they've got similar types of characters, similar world building, very unique in their own ways. Oh my god, guys, it's so good. This is a wonderful note to end on. That like is the perfect way to conclude this vlog. I feel like that is such a high to end on. That was such a high. Yeah, anyway, I cannot recommend this enough, and that brings us to the end of this reading vlog. To me, this felt like a very long reading vlog because I've been busy, so it's kind of been over a few weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that, longer than my usual ones. But I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like I've been extra chatty this vlog as well, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. It truly means the world to me when you like watch until the end of my videos. Like, the fact that you guys stick around that much is crazy. I love you all so much. I cannot believe I get to do this and rant to you guys and read these amazing books and talk to you about them. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.